After a day's work, sometimes you just want to escape. Some people do so by watching movies, series or anime, others listen or play music, read books, play games, and there are people like me that listen to situation drama CDs from 2D music projects. You know, those CDs that can take the listener to a different world, to an alternate life within 2D music projects? Gear up, because this is going to be an episode all about 2D music projects that have a big focus on situation drama CDs that put you in the story as the protagonist. Let's kick off this episode of Seiyuu Lounge. Welcome to Seiyuu Lounge, I am your host Vanessa, and today's topic is when 2D music and situation drama collide. It's time to talk about those 2D music projects that went the extra mile, introducing not only awesome songs to listen to, but also that have drama tracks or drama CDs in which you, the listener, are an active part in the story. Is this another excuse for me to be talking about the Dear Vocalist franchise? Yes. But this is also an excuse to talk about 2D music projects that, because they have drama CDs or situation drama CDs at their core, most people avoid those because they are either worried they'll never completely understand the story or will be missing out on the story by not listening to one of the CDs in the collection, or because those CDs are expensive more so than regular music CDs. Ask yourself the following questions. What if I could live a different life? What if I could be in those worlds from the music projects I love? What if I could be in the shoes of someone else managing the groups I love and perhaps even experience love within those? If you're thinking, I'm okay or not interested, well, I'm afraid this episode is not for you. However, if you wondered about the possibilities in any of those questions, and if you want to escape from your routine for 1 hour or more, depending on how many CDs you plan to check, then this episode is for you, and I'll be diving into 2D music projects that have focused on marrying music with romance via situation CDs. In the case this is the very first time you are hearing about 2D music projects that have a strong drama CD component, or even a big focus on situation drama with the listener as the main character, I'll give you a quick rundown of some of the topics or words you'll hear me talking about in this episode. 2D music projects are, first and foremost, projects all about music performed by fictional characters or 2D characters. Those characters are voiced by voice actors that may or may not have singing experience. Some projects don't require that, whereas others hold auditions or pick and offer roles to voice actors that have a proven record of being good singers. In some projects, only some members sing, in others, all members sing. It really depends on the project and the music genre. Rock bands usually only have one seiyuu in charge of singing, idol groups have a cast ensemble in which all will sing. Drama CDs are a popular type of media in Japan in which you can tell any kind of story. It goes from regular drama CDs recorded with a narration microphone and in which you're mostly a bystander to situation CDs, usually with romance stories at its core, recorded using a dummy head mic. A dummy head mic is a special binaural microphone used to create a realistic performance set in a 3D environment. Recordings made with this microphone take you to those stories, making the content extremely immersive. For the duration of those CDs, you are in the same place as the character a seiyuu is portraying. For a recording with a dummy head microphone, the voice actor has to always be on the move, making sure that you can feel yourself within the story, even noticing height differences or how close someone is to you. For more on what is a dummy head and how complex is a recording session whenever there is this microphone at the center, I welcome you to check episode 13 of Seiyu Lounge. Now let's check who are the music labels creating these types of 2D music projects with drama at its core, why those are not that popular, which projects are there, between many other things. Some of you listening to this episode will be thinking, but don't almost all 2D music projects have drama CDs? Yes, they do, and this has been a good trend that has settled in the industry in the past 7 years. However, in those drama CDs, you just listen to the story unfold. You're not a part of what is happening. You or your character don't play any role. Well, there's no character assigned to you, the listener, to begin with. So those types of drama CDs or drama tracks that come with 2D group music are not the types that I'm talking about. The ones that I'm referring to are the ones like in the Dear Vocalist franchise, a staple in this field of music plus situation drama CD. These are the ones in which you take center stage and are an active part of what is happening. You're in someone else's shoes, you're transported into a story. Now, that is where the magic happens, at least if you're a fan of drama CDs of this kind. Who has been pushing a lot for 2D music projects to have situation drama? I dare say Reject's Daisuke Iwasaki has always been keen on making situation drama CDs. If you're familiar with the projects that Reject creates and publishes, you'll know most stuff is twisted, sometimes borderline wacky. But you can't deny it, Iwasaki's ambitions have over the years led to the launch of genuinely good projects, and you can safely say it was him and Reject that started this niche within 2D music projects. Reject's flagship project when it comes to marrying 2D music with situation drama is Dear Vocalist. This is an incredibly popular franchise in Japan that only in 2021 opened the doors to international fans. Honeybee Black has been since 2014 creating otome games with music as a tie-up, and that's essentially what Dynamic Chord was all about for a couple of years before introducing situation drama CDs in its content lineup. Team Entertainment pivoted from drama CDs to music plus situation drama CDs with Perfection Noise. Although not popular, the project has incredible potential. You may be familiar with this music label because of the Mint Leap drama CDs, but those are drama only, there is no music there. And a recent player in this niche is Orangette, once again a label that was known for drama CDs, pivoting to music plus situation drama CDs with the project Bremen. These 4 labels have been in the vanguard doing their own thing, creating a unique mix of content that, almost a decade since the very first projects of this nature were launched, is still niche. When did 2D music projects start to pivot to situation drama CDs? Although Dynamic Chord may be the instant peak for those fans of this type of content, the franchise only started to have drama CDs or situation drama CDs later on, and those did not mix music with drama. With that being said, the first 2D music project to actually blend music, high-quality music, and equally high-quality situation drama parts was Dear Vocalist. The franchise launched by Reject in 2015 is still to this day one of the most exciting among 2D music projects. With high-quality music composed by Ron and lyrics by Daisuke Iwasaki, which is to say Reject's CEO, the franchise has maintained a surprisingly high level of quality since the start, with the songs being tie-ups with the situation drama tracks included in those CDs. This was a weird concept when it was first announced. Yet again, Reject is full of weird ideas in its franchises, some working better than others. However, fans started to find in Dear Vocalist something refreshing. Up until then, you had 2D music franchises like Utapri that had a big focus in its otome games. However, fans never got solo drama or solo situation drama plus music CDs from each of the members of the franchise's 3 groups. Scooter had a strong focus on music plus drama, however, those drama portions were just regular drama in which the listener only got to hear the story unfold. Marginal Number 4 had a weird mix of fan service lines in the middle of its songs, hinting at what would be Iwasaki's next crazy idea: a 2D music project with equal focus in the music and situation drama. With Reject being a drama CD powerhouse back in 2015, and with its recent adventure with Dance with Devils having piqued the interest of fans of otome content that loved music, it was time to launch Dear Vocalist. The franchise was launched in 2015, setting a niche trend within 2D music, ending up influencing all projects that followed, most of those connected to rock music. Storytelling through drama and music. All 2D music projects that have situation drama CDs or tracks tend to focus on having continuity between CDs of the same character. This is what I believe that makes 2D music projects that focus on this unique blend of content awesome in my eyes. You're participating in a story and it continues from where it left off. Across several CDs in the franchise, you get to experience the characters' growth, see them overcome struggles, change their ways, continue to be geniuses, or simply have your relationship with them grow into something more personal. Storytelling is a big feature in these types of 2D music projects. The music reflects the storytelling in the individual situation CDs. It is actually a direct result of the events in those CDs. Then those happenings carry over to the main story in the franchise, shaping up how the characters act around each other when it comes to games or franchise drama CDs. A franchise that does these really well is once again the Dear Vocalist franchise. Expanding the world building in a franchise. You and I can agree that drama tracks, regardless of in which music project those are included, help flesh out the ongoing main story. In regular CDs that include cast drama tracks, you get to explore the bands or groups and their dealings and struggles. As a bystander, you're rooting for those characters, but that's the extent of your involvement in those stories. When it comes to 2D music projects that focus on situation CDs, the world building is expanded, the characters gain life, a purpose beyond the main story. You can dive a bit deeper into them, much closer than you get in a regular drama CD or track included with a music CD. You go from rooting to being an active part in those stories, perhaps even becoming a muse for those characters, or the person that steers them in the right way. As a result of having situation drama added to 2D music projects, the characters end up sounding human, relatable, and you actually have the main story benefiting from diving deeper into those micro stories for each character. All of a sudden, that world and those stories sound worth diving deep into, not just watching them unfold. What happens in those CDs ends up fleshing out the characters, and actually those events carry over to when the characters are in a full-on drama CD with the project's ensemble of characters. As such, these franchises have rich, well laid out and developed worlds and stories that are engaging, making you curious even about other characters you weren't initially planning on checking. And because of that, if you want to skip situation drama CDs in 2D music projects, you won't be left in the dark about the story. Contrary to regular drama CD collections or drama tracks in music projects in which if you miss a CD, then you're completely lost in the story that is going on, or in which the music is not tied up with the story in the drama tracks, situation CDs in 2D music projects are usually one-offs within that universe or main story. 2D music projects that feature regular drama parts do the storytelling exclusively through there. If you miss it or don't fancy drama tracks, you'll be left in the dark. That is, unless the project ends up having an anime or game adaptation, for example. So yeah, in 2D music projects that embrace situation drama, you can actually skip the drama parts. Yes, you heard it well, you can skip those. Like I said before, these projects do the storytelling through a combination of music plus drama. Not just drama and not just music. It is a combination, so you can pick either of those and you'll still grasp a lot of the story without the hassle that may be listening to drama tracks, in case you're not comfortable listening to Japanese or don't fancy the medium. The music will speak for itself if the project is good, telling you those stories you missed in the drama tracks through itself. If that happens, it is a sign that the project is a good one. So as long as you know the gist of the main story or the premise, you're okay to dive into the music and you'll be able to understand what is going on without spending time listening to the drama parts, especially if you're not a fan of those. The core story is either explained on the website what the group, band or artist is all about, or there is a franchise drama CD in which you have the world building and each character interacting in a specific context. And situation drama CDs in 2D music projects isolate those characters to flesh them out through micro stories in which you participate. Some projects have a canon relationship going on, or a canon status for you, the listener, within the world of the project, and then there are projects in which each CD is a different micro world within the big story in that franchise. Once again, you can grasp the story pretty easily through the music, and if you feel like filling in the gaps in the story, perhaps understand why a song talks about guilt or unrequited love, you can do so by resorting to the drama tracks that complement the music. And after all these interesting bits I've shared with you about 2D music plus situation drama projects, you'd think that these would be relatively popular. Well, truth is... 2D music projects are not popular. Let's face it, not many people like 2D music projects, and at the same time, not many people enjoy drama CDs or situation drama CDs of any kind. And if both are together, you can imagine those projects not being that popular. So everything about this episode is quite niche. At the core of the reasons why most people, especially international fans, don't enjoy drama CDs or situation drama CDs is the fact that they do not feel comfortable with the Japanese language to the point that they can understand what is going on. I can feel you. I started listening to drama CDs without knowing a single word in Japanese. I just wanted to hear the voices that I fell in love with. What was happening in those stories? Honestly, I didn't know and I didn't care much when I started. But as time passed, being exposed to the Japanese language through those drama or situation CDs within 2D music projects, I found myself picking up words, understanding a bit what was happening. I got relatively comfortable with Japanese as a language. I don't know if you are the type of person that needs to follow a textbook to learn a language, or the type that needs to grind the grammar and everything to learn a language, or are simply the visual type that just by listening or watching something, you quickly pick up the language and start to learn it. Depending on the type of learner that you are, drama CDs may be something you dread and that actually you don't find enjoyable, or it can be a good way to dive into the language and learn it through the voices you love. I am the latter. That's why in my 12 years of learning Japanese I can understand a lot of the spoken language, but you give me a text to read and depending on the theme, especially if it isn't about music or voice actors, I can't understand a thing. Another reason why international fans may not be into 2D music projects that have situation drama CDs at their core is that they may find those to be a bit cheesy. This is perfectly valid, those are your tastes after all. And the other reason I believe it detracts international fans from enjoying those projects is that purchasing those CDs is really expensive. CDs by 2D Music Plus Situation Drama projects are full price, the most expensive you can get within music releases. That happens because you're paying for two different types of content, drama and music. Drama CDs are oftentimes more expensive than regular music CDs, so it's no surprise that being a fan of 2D Music Plus Situation Drama CDs can be insanely expensive as a hobby. To add up to those costs is the fact that all 2D Music Plus Situation Drama projects out there only have their CDs available in physical edition, only making the songs available digitally if ever. So this can make a lot of people think it's not worth the hassle and their money is better invested in projects that make the drama tracks available on streaming platforms, even if those are drama tracks that don't have you being an active part in those stories. All these reasons are perfectly valid. Music plus situation drama CD franchises are rare. You can count with your fingers the number of 2D music franchises that have focused on presenting a solid mix of music and situation drama. There are only 5 projects that have at its core a balance between music plus situation drama in which you are a part of. I'm talking about Dear Vocalist, Dynamic Chord, Perfection Noise, Bremen, and Carnelian Blood. Those are the 5 2D music projects trailing their own path in a niche medium such as music plus situation drama. And these are rare because most people are not looking for stories to dive into and prefer to actually be bystanders or even prefer projects that are only about the music. Then, out of the projects I mentioned, 4 are about rock music. And as you may already be aware, rock music is not that popular among fans of 2D music projects. Another reason as to why Music Plus Situation Drama CD franchises are rare comes from that dichotomy between how expensive the CDs are versus how expensive the cast is for a drama CD. Remember what I told you on episode 8 about how much say you earn? For drama CDs, say you are paid per word. Some projects are really heavily focused on dialogue, thus it can be insanely expensive to produce those CDs. This can detract some project creators from actually launching their projects or even shift the focus from the story to the music instead to save money. My take on 2D Music Plus Situation Drama projects. Honestly, regardless if you are working or you're a student, there are some times in which everything is a bit too much. You want to escape, leave the stress behind you, crazy expectations, weird people, and everything that makes you feel bad or drained. I know for sure that when I was a college student, I felt a lot of pressure on me. Deadlines were unrealistic, exams were always around the corner, laws were always being updated, teachers wanted us to be at a master's level when we were just taking our first steps. Law college is not kind to its students. I can only imagine people in other areas, and I honestly wanted to escape from all that. Do you know what happened? By chance, I found About Say You, fell in love with voice acting as an art, and created a little blog titled The Hand That Feeds HQ, in which I wrote about my passion, thus putting all stress aside. That blog ended up being my safe haven. Now, as I am older, to escape the stress from work, I still write in what is now a small website titled The Hand That Feeds HQ. Still my safe haven, but now with a professional look and feel. And I listen to situation drama CDs, especially ones that involve music of some kind. This is oddly specific, but yeah, I love music, so if I can have music with a good story with my situation drama CDs or vice versa, I'll take it. I don't know about you, but I love to dive into stories, being as a reader or as a listener, and drama CDs have provided that to me, as a busy life doesn't allow me with free time to read. Have you ever imagined yourself managing a rock band or an idol group, perhaps being a close friend to someone in the music industry? Or even if you haven't, have you ever thought about being part of the story in your favorite 2D music projects? Be an active part of those stories, alongside the characters you love, with the voice actors that you love around you. This is pretty cool, at least I believe so. A pity, however, that this is so rare in the 2D music industry and that so very few people find these projects exciting or worth checking out. Almost like reading a book, in 2D Music plus situation drama projects you get to live a different life, an alternate life. Sometimes it is awesome, other times it is twisted. In that case, you really have to pick and choose what fits best your style and the types of stories you like. Unfortunately, there is not much to choose from, as few are the labels that dare launch projects that have music with situation drama at their core. And since it is pricey to produce each CD, with the CDs ending up being insanely pricey for fans, everything adds up. 2D Music plus situation drama projects end up not attracting much attention from those that just want to casually support the project, even if 2D Music plus situation drama projects end up being quite easy to get into. If only people took a gamble and gave a chance to those projects, they'd find the realistic and relatable stories going on, the rich world building, how impressive it is that the music perfectly sums up those stories, and the wonderful cast that each of those projects has. I don't know if I made a good case for you to start checking these types of projects, but deep down I hope at least you got a bit curious about those. In the next episode, I'll dive deep into each of those 5 2D music plus situation drama projects I've mentioned, putting the spotlight on their stories and characters without spoiling much. So tell me, are you the type of fan that enjoys 2D music plus situation drama projects? If you could turn any 2D music franchise into a 2D plus situation drama CD franchise, which one would you pick? On my end, I'd love Dig Rock and Skip Row to add a situation drama CD twist to their franchises. Once again, it might be a bit crazy to pull off, but imagine being a manager for any of the bands or groups in the Dig Rock or Skip Row franchises. That would be crazy, and perhaps a lot of fun. So let me know your opinion in the comments on YouTube. And remember, leave your comments as complex or as simple as they may be, and you can be featured on upcoming episodes of Seiyu Lounge. If you enjoyed this episode and don't want to miss the Hand That Feeds HQ's weekly male Seiyu and music-related content, hit the subscribe button. I'll return next week with another episode of Seiyu Lounge. Thank you for listening, and see you guys around.